very intelligent at school, analyzing things and all those things, but they fail in life. So having a high IQ and a low EQ does not guarantee success. All right. Either in other point also, having a high EQ, your emotional intelligence, and a lower IQ will also lead you to frustration. So the two must balance. All right. I thought I should bring that to our attention. So if we're going to talk about emotion intelligence in leadership, I'd want us to understand the four dimensions of emotional intelligence, the four dimensions of emotional intelligence. To those that are writing, the four dimension to emotional intelligence. And now I would appreciate from time to time to know that people can get me. If you can react in the comment section, or you can react with your favorite emoji so that I know that people are following. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So the four dimensions to emotional intelligence, like I've said, we do not lead from without, we lead from within. So there are certain things that must be built from within. So these things, what are these things? Number one, if you're going to build your emotional intelligence as a leader, you must be first aware, be aware of yourself, of who you are. All right, which is self-awareness. Now, many people would want to lead people without knowing themselves. See, you can never build anything or impact anybody if you do not understand who you are. So knowing who you are, all right, knowing who you are helps you to grow or lead other people. Now, leadership is not about leading people. Let me bring this to our attention before we go any further. Leadership, when you talk of the term leadership, we are not looking at it in the context of you being a boss over people. You are a leader to yourself before anything else. All right. You are a leader to yourself before anything else. And so, if you are going to lead people, you must first lead yourself, be aware of yourself. All right. Now, you need to understand this thing: a weak mind cannot be impactful. So if you are going to build people, what we're saying about the four dimensions of emotional intelligence, that you must you must be aware of who you are. What do we mean? You must understand your strength and understand your weakness. All right. You cannot lead people, like I've said, with a weak mind. So an emotional leader is a distraction to himself and the people that is going to lead. All right. Now, you are a leader of your own life. You are a leader at any position. Some of you that are married, you are leaders in that home. You are leaders in your relationship. You are a leader. The direction of that relationship depends on your leadership. And so your emotions must come to power. All right. So if you are going to be impactful or you're going to build anything significant, you must see it that your emotions are well analyzed and have actually grown to the capacity that do not affect but impact other people. All right. So those things come from a self-awareness, which is the first dimension in emotional intelligence. You must know your strength, know your weakness. A person that enters a relationship without understanding their core weaknesses and strength, they will blame the person whom they are dating for the things they should be responsible about. So, in other words, a person that is not emotionally intelligent will always be a burden to the next person. Now, let me repeat that again. A person that is not aware or has not worked on emotional intelligence will always be a burden to the next person. Listen to me. Being emotionally stable does not mean you are hard or difficult. No. So being emotionally stable or emotional intelligence is having capacity to make the correct choices, the right decision, at most in an uncomfortable situation. So a person that is emotionally intelligent is one that is able to analyze, control themselves, and still make right decision even in the inconvenience places. So leaders that are emotionally stable, they always see opinions or options to succeed even in a place where it does not seem. And anything that grows in a hand, nothing grows in a hand of an emotional person. So you must grow your emotions. You must be aware of yourself, understand your weakness, understand your strength. All right, let me move on quickly because I've limited time on me. So know who you are. That's self-awareness. That's the first dimension of emotional intelligence. If you're going to master your emotional intelligence at any leadership position, starting with your own life, you must know who you are, know your strength, and know your weakness. Number two, the second dimension of emotional intelligence is that you must have a social awareness. Now, what do we mean by social awareness? Social awareness is being involved in people's emotions. See, you do not lead people by what you say. You lead people by how you feel for them. Let me repeat that again. You do not lead people by what you say. You lead people by how you feel for them. Like our ladies here. Ladies, a guy that tells you I love you and does not show the affection of it, do you think that person truly loves you? Of course not. Why? Because we do not lead from what we say. We lead from what we feel for people. And so, the second dimension of emotional intelligence, we are going to build your intelligence in leadership at anything, corporate, church point, anything. In any organization level, you must have a social awareness, know how to connect with people. All right? Be involved in people's emotion. Somebody said, when you touch someone's heart, it will be easier for them to release their hand. Most leaders want people to celebrate them and honor them. And this is the havoc that we have even in our political sector, Zambia. So we have people that want people to stretch their hands for them without them touching their hearts. See, the Bible talks about Jesus. Let me bring this aspect because I'm a pastor also. The Bible talks about Jesus, who is the greatest leader overall. All right. It talks about Jesus in most cases when he was impactful. The Bible says that he was moved with compassion. So, how you feel about people will also propel how you lead them. How you feel about yourself will also cause you to make the right decision about yourself. Some of you are bitter and fighting with trauma. And so what you've done now with that trauma, you bring it in your relationship, you bring it at the leadership position, and you become bitter to people around you. Not because they did anything wrong to you, no, but because you are bitter. So you lack compassion because somebody had broken you before. So you are growing in stature, you are growing in your body, but yet you are defeated within you. You are emotionally down. You are actually battling with trauma from your past because of how you were treated by your parents. You are fighting a trauma that you had in your past relationship, and you want to enter with it in the new relationship, and you think you will lead it to a succession. You will not. Because what will happen at that point is that you will become bitter. And this is how you find most people saying, love usiatu. No, it's not that you are not meant for love. You are just a broken person. And at that point, you also continue breaking others. Have you heard this statement before? A broken person will always break people. So being social, having a social awareness in emotions, being involved in people's emotions. You will relate with people at their level. And let me bring this to those that are running companies. If you are going to lead a company to a point of succession, you must understand on how to relate with people emotionally. Be attached to their emotions. How are they feeling? What do they say about the company? How do they say? What do they say about you? All those aspects must be brought in. Relate with things. Let me rush to the third dimension of emotional leadership, which is relationship management. Now, when you talk of relationship management, this is directly interlinked with the social awareness. All right. So, relationship management talks about like I said, there are certain people that are walking in trauma. You are walking, you are naturally a proud person. Nobody corrects you. So the second dimension is social awareness. The third dimension is relationship management. I hope you got that one now. All right. So some of you find it hard to relate with people because of pride or pain, trauma. Some of you actually are too envious. I don't know if you've ever met a person, I don't know if it is you, but there are certain people that are too envious about the success of others. It shows that these people are emotionally down. All right? You cannot be a leader. Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong in your emotion. Any progress that your colleague makes, it always has a negative impact on you. It shows that you're actually broken. Kindly help me with whoever's mic is on. I don't know who has the mic. Moderator, please. All right. So if you're going to lead people, you must learn relationship management. Relationship management, like I've said, it involves on how you work with others. You cannot work with others if you're still hurt and bleeding. So you must learn. All right. You must learn, like I said before you fix anything, most people want to be leaders, want to spearhead things. Before you fix where you are, you must first fix who you are. Deal with the past trauma. Deal with the past thing. Certain pride that people walk in is not because they want to. No, they are ahead. Leaders are constantly learning. Actually, you can even learn from a subordinate. That's true leadership. So before you fix where you are, you want to stand for a political party in any constituency, whatever thing, you want to stand for any organization, you want to lead people, you want to start your own thing, see it to the fact that you check in this thing. Fix yourself before you fix anywhere. Before you fix anything, fix yourself. Can you work with people? Let me rush so that I conclude. The fourth dimension is self-management. Now, self-management has to do with managing who you are. Remember, we spoke about self-awareness. Self-awareness talks about knowing who you are. Self-awareness talks about knowing who you are. Self-management talks about managing who you are. So now, this is where I will conclude everything now. Managing who you are. So if you're going to grow as a leader, you must manage yourself. Having understood your strength and your weaknesses, and having learned that you need to relate with people, having learned that you need to actually learn to engage emotionally with the people that you are leading, you must manage yourself. How do you do this thing? Now, this will bring me to what I want to conclude with on how to build emotional intelligence. How do you build everything that I've spoken about, the 4 dimensions? So how do you build emotional intelligence? Number 1, identify your inadequacies. Identify where you lack. See, some of you are not naturally short-tempered. No. You are not, it's not that you are born, there's no person that was born with short temper. You are not a wizard. Even a wizard is just a person that is broken. Yes. You need to start checking yourself. Even a witch is just a person that is emotionally broken. Would you put a wizard to be your leader? You are proud of yourself. So begin to have your self-introspection. You know, there was a point in my life. I knew what God wanted me to do. And I knew that I needed to be a leader. I have the leadership spirit within me. But there were certain things that I needed to deal with, because having grown with those things, I would have destroyed the people that I was leading. And see, I had to understand, number one, I was short-tempered. Number two, certain things just didn't make sense to me, like certain things just didn't make sense to me. So write down things that you are lacking in. If you are going to grow your intelligence for impact as a leader, this has to do with yourself. Write down your areas of weakness. If you are a hurt person, you have a trauma of your parents, you have a trauma of whatever happened. Before leading people, and let me bring this to our attention, since we are young people here, some of you need to start dealing with those traumas before you have your own children, because you'll be a leader over them. So being a leader over your children will mean that you need to pass on what is inside you. And see, you wouldn't want to pass to your children trauma. And now, some people never realize this, that if you do not deal with the situation, you actually grow in it. You never ignore a problem. You must deal with it. Never ignore a problem. If you are battered by your parents, if you are molested at some point, please, before you go any further in your pursuit of life, have it seen that you deal with that thing, because it has an effect on your emotions. And anything that affects your emotions affects your spirit. It affects your spirit. And so you find yourself lagging in certain areas of your lives because of these things. So you have trauma, you have pain, you have bitterness. Deal with these things. All right, that's thing. Identify your areas of weakness if you're going to be impactful. So I'm talking about building emotional intelligence. You're going to grow your emotional intelligence. Begin to find people that are doing better than you. I spoke about people that are just envious. You are broken, my friend. You are actually worse than a witch. Why are you envious that your friend is growing? Leaders are humble. We see it from Jesus. Moses, the Bible says Moses was the meekest person that ever lived. And yet he led a crowd of 3,000 people without a mic that they would obey him. Learn from people. Work with people that are better than you. It will help you grow emotionally. It will improve your self-awareness. It will improve your self-management. It will improve your relationship. It will improve your social life. If you work, challenge yourself. This one thing I can tell you in boldness, that I have grown in this thing, because most things that I learned, or things that I know, and the person that I am right now, is because of the people that I surrounded myself with. I'm very deliberate. I am never intimidated by people. I am always inspired by people. If you find yourself being intimidated by people that are doing better than you, you are not emotionally intelligent. You must find yourself being inspired by people that are doing better than you. Be inspired and not intimidated. So surround yourself with people. After this meeting, begin to associate yourself. Don't associate yourself with fools. The Bible says, he who walks with the wise become wise. The opposite is true. Some of you look at mad people walking and you say, these people, they are mad. It's the issue to do with their head. Actually, you are the most craziest person, because see this that you have. In leadership, there's what we call the law of the inner circle. The law of the inner circle, it actually determines that you should bring people that are better than you within your circle. That's a leader. Those people are not there to override you. Those people are there to actually amplify what you have. All right? As I conclude, remember, you are a leader to yourself before leading anyone. And so, Work on these 3 things. Be aware. Know who you are. Be involved in people's relation. Even just a friend to friend. You are leading the people that are around you. You know? The 3rd thing is that you must work with people. The 4th thing is that you must learn to manage yourself. Identify the areas of your weakness. Identify people that are better at it. Grow in them. Let your weakness be a propelling power to find people that can help you. My name is Ataonga Joseph, and I'm really excited, and I hope that these things that I've spoken in these few minutes has brought enlightenment to us. Please make sure you deal with anything that is a word within you before thinking of growing either in a relationship or managing people, anything. Deal with these things. If you can deal with these things, trust me, then we'll be best and many people on the top. Thank you so much. I submit.